Okay, hello, my name is Lance Winsaft, and I am the owner and operator of Aldebaran Recruiting. And I wanted to say three really quick things that I think are really important feedback about working with Mike and the Recruiter U team. So, first and foremost, one of the reasons that I ended up hiring Mike is that Mike truly is a pro when it comes to structuring a successful search firm. So, for me, it's really important to work with somebody who's done and gone to where I want to grow and build my business. So I have been able to, in a very short period of time, identify where the knowledge gaps are and process and operational gaps are in my business, and not only identify those, but also have the resources right there on hand to be able to fill those gaps and implement that within my company, which is already starting to pay off exponentially. So it's two things there. There's one, Mike's got the background and the wherewithal, and his team does, to be able to help you identify where those gaps are, and then the resources there available on hand, which leads into the second thing that I wanted to say was that the really, really great organized resource library. Implementation is, I think, really, really key, and being able to have really good structures to be able to implement easily has been a huge benefit for us. And then, I think the last thing is that, Mike really walks the walk, and his team walks the talk. So they, are constantly improving, constantly adding more value, constantly, and are always there when I need something. So I don't ever feel left on an island. I don't ever feel like I have to wait for my next coaching call or something like that. Mike's very available, and the team is very available. So it's been a really, really great experience, and I'm just excited to continue to fill in the gaps that I need and continue scaling and growing my firm.
So I'm Cal Monkfold. I'm the CEO of the Hunt Group, which is an executive search firm based in Minneapolis. We're an IT technology firm. I've been part of the Recruiter U program for almost a year, about 9 months actually now. And earlier we were discovering things that limit you in business. My background is I have 25 years in recruiting. I've run a successful recruiting firm for 20 plus years. It has been up to $6 million in revenue, and have done a lot in contract and consulting perm work. Mike introduced me to Francis Walker about some limitations that I felt were things that I was struggling with implementing some newer things that we discussed. And to my amazement, I was kind of skeptical in the beginning, but the process really changed my life. I mean, dramatically changed the way I look at things, the way I perceive what is going on with me personally, and so on and so forth. Not just from a business point of view, but from a personal point of view, from an emotional standpoint. It's really taught me how to identify some of the things that were going on with me that I really wasn't even aware of, type of solution, and some of those things, and how to change those things into a way more positive basis. The results have been I spend less time doing a lot more things than I did before, and doing them way more effectively. Because she gets right to the root of some of the things that we all struggle with on being successful, whether we can or we can't do things, and so on and so forth. But really, one of the examples is she got to a point where I always felt I had to do things right. So I'd have to figure out stuff and learn it right, and just drive into it really quickly until I got it right, and then I would have probably enough confidence to move forward with it. And she unpacked that really quickly for me, and it was one of the things I figured out that it allowed me to procrastinate on getting certain things done, but actually had stopped my forward momentum on a lot of successful things. So not one scenario, and there's probably a dozen more that we went through just on a couple of sessions, really has changed my approach to things, how quickly I can move forward with various things, and really that it doesn't have to be right. I just need to get things moving forward and then kind of figure it out. That might not sound a lot to people, but it gave me a certain amount of peace that I hadn't had before, a certain amount of interpersonal confidence, because I no longer had to get it right all the time. So always wasn't judging what I was doing. I wasn't always worried about it, and so on and so forth. It just allowed me to move forward. Her process is so insightful into your personal area. She's such a I've never worked with anybody like her in my life, actually, that is that insightful in helping me understand me, and helping me be what my whole purpose in life is, to be the best me that I can be, to be the best person I can be, not only from business but also personally, spiritually, physically, and actually in my relationships. So I highly recommend the whole process that Frances uses, and how Mike's applying it into what we do at Recruiter U, because it's been just a epiphany, and it's actually helped me change things quickly that I've struggled with for many years. So I highly recommend that you give Frances a look through her information, and approach it in the fact that she's really there to help you. It isn't about me being wrong or something wrong with me. It's just me helping me be the best me I can be. So.
Do you have questions for me?
So, who
yeah.
are you, and
Yeah,
what have you gotten out of your year working with Recruiter U?
Yeah, so my name's Tyler Fairhurst. I'm from San Diego, California. I guess what I've learned the most in the past year, and maybe most recently, is the power of metrics.
And what about the power of metrics?
Yeah, so I would say it's referred to as KPIs. So the ratios of phone calls to submissions to first-time interviews to placements, keeping those key sort of data points, making myself aware of them as the search firm owner, but also recruiters, so that they can sort of self-manage themselves, I think is very important. Also, when maybe recruiters sort of stall, maybe they have sort of a down spike in their business. I think it's easier to sort of dissect as to why maybe they're having some of those struggles. And just benchmarks. It's creating benchmarks for people to sort of stay on task and to be successful at the end of the day.
Hello, I'm Roy Oberg of Oberg & Associates in Dallas, Texas. We're wrapping up, me and my teammate Teresa are wrapping up a 2-day intensive in Boston. This is my 5th intensive, and without a doubt the most productive. I am leaving excited with work to do, and I am absolutely certain we have gotten wonderful value from this trip.